Good morning, everybody. Can everybody hear me? I'm going to the bottom of the chat. Kat's backstage for a mic check, and me being sneaky, I kept her on the hook because we love hearing from Kat, and she put out an amazing video about all the updates with Eliza Fletcher. And have no fear, I know a lot of people have asked, they're like, are you going to still cover Kylie Rodney? Yes, absolutely. I have a show tomorrow, a Labor Day show for Kylie Rodney, still covering summer, still covering Harmony, the whole gamut. We got it, girls. We got it, girls and guys. Don't worry. So much has been going on, well, since Friday morning with Eliza. You can't take your eyes off of it. It's crazy. I did invite a woman to come up. She has been posting publicly on Facebook, about the arrest that was made in Memphis. She's invited to come up. She said she would. If she doesn't, I totally understand, because obviously this is a very, very dangerous situation. And I personally I wouldn't blame her for, she's already put out a lot. Let me put it that way. So anyway, if she comes up, she comes up. If she doesn't, I totally respect that. So let's see who's in here. Chihuahua Dawson, love it, love it. Bonnie, preschool, just me. Wolverine, what happened last night? Am I in the right place? You're always in the right place, Wolverine. Whether you think you're looking at a show about the wrong case or not, you are in the right place. Connie, good morning. Nini, we're kind of making these weekend lives a habit, aren't we? Kamari, Mama B, Tamara, Seashore Girl, AB's in here. I sent Misty Dew her own personal invitation this morning. She's having problems with notifications, as many of us are. Uli, Melanie 54, DT, he's actually in the next room too. Speaking of someone that should never have a problem with notifications, that's DT Driver. I got a jar of dirt. Hey, Jeannie, what's up? Riley, Carrie. We got some new names in here. Hit the sub button. Do the best you can with the bell to get reminded, because can't always promise that YouTube is going to do their due diligence. I cannot promise you that at all. But got a lot of updates this morning. The family spoke out yesterday, and yes, the husband was present for that. People are already saying they're getting Chris Watts vibes. Some people are saying, no, I don't think he would go in front of the camera if he's involved. You be the judge. We'll look at it. When you think about what happened to Eliza Friday morning, it's something out of a movie, to be quite honest, because it's your worst fear. You're minding your own business. This is your regular routine. And you're just snatched out of your normal world, and possibly worse. It's definitely like a movie. So I'm going to get some things loaded, bring Kat up. So grab a seat, get your coffee, listen while you're getting ready for church, hungover from yesterday's football games, what have you, get comfortable, because there was an arrest yesterday. 2, actually. But the second arrest, they say they don't believe is connected, but the charges are very, very drug connected and related. I heard a word like fentanyl brought up. Turns out Richie, her husband, had at one point a substance abuse problem. The dots are too big to not connect. Laura said, I just got mine. Bang. I'm not subscribed to myself, so I can say I've never had a notification. It's crazy. So let's bring up our crazy friend, Kat. Hello, Kat.
Hey, Brooks. Good morning. How are you doing?
Great. Stellar work on your video.
Thank you. Just a quick one. When you do hit the subscribe bell, make sure the bell's filled in so it's not like an empty bell. Subscribe all. I mean, it doesn't necessarily always work, but you've got a better chance of getting notifications if the bell is actually filled in rather than just being empty.
Good to know. Good
Just
to
a
know.
heads up. You're welcome.
Is that going to be a fail proof?
No, it isn't fail proof for me, but I do get more notifications off of the channels where I hit the bell and fill it in. Then, like, so when you get the picture of the bell, when you click it and it says subscribe, make sure you subscribe all, which then fills the bell in. So it's like a full bell. And then you get more notifications from that than you do if you just leave the bell as it is, empty.
I got you. Well, I'm subscribed all to you. And I didn't even know you were live one day. I just happened to come across it.
Well, maybe that was an accident. I don't know. YouTube has a lot of glitches.
Well, and supposedly they update like every 3 months. And I'm like, if it's not broke, don't
fix it. Right.
Everything was going okay. It was going okay. So what do you make of all the new updates, my friend?
Wow. So I didn't want to ruin your show for you, but the vehicle last night that they were interested in has been found and the occupant of the vehicle was arrested. Turns out that the guy that they arrested has been charged with aggravated kidnapping and tampering with evidence. He's in custody, but they still have not found Liza.
Still have not found Liza. I'm just scanning through some pictures that were posted on Facebook publicly yesterday. I didn't take anything from no friends of mine would put up anything that's interesting. No offense.
Wow.
No, they put up interesting stuff, but nothing I can use on a show.
Right. You don't really need to see us.
They wouldn't have scenes from a crime.
No. Okay, fair enough. I'll let you off.
Let's see. Memphis police outside the apartment complex. Imagine, we talked about this in the Harmony Montgomery case when the FBI basically locked down an entire city block.
Yeah.
Imagine a Saturday afternoon, you're watching, you've been waiting all summer, for football to start. You're just watching your game, kicking back, and next thing you know, you got a fentanyl arrest and a kidnapping arrest 2 doors down.
Mm-hmm.
This is how these poor people had to start their football season and just their whole Saturday. I would be coming unglued. I'd be asking the landlord, so you might want to put an extra couple of questions on your credit application before people.
It's just lowering the property prices.
Look at this. Memphis police, we figured that. Got some unmarked cars. I don't know if this is the car that was taken, because I also heard that basically he fled to the scene and collided with an ATF officer. Oops. That happened on purpose.
Yeah.
They did have the armadillos, as they call them out there.
What is that? The tank type of thing, or Jeep, or whatever that is in the picture?
Yeah.
Wow, that's huge.
There they are. So, Memphis police, they were basically on Boy Scout duty. They weren't letting them handle any of this, you could tell.
Mm-hmm.
I saw some comments going, no, these cops wear suits, so they're the real deal.
Right.
There's a lake they have taped off that's next to the apartments.
Uh-huh.
Got crime scene tape everywhere. And other people live there,
Yeah. I mean, I know what you're saying about them arriving outside your house in the middle of a football game or whatever, but then I guess you could go out there and, do a live.
I would.
You would.
I would. I don't have a good camera, but bear with me. All right. So this is Cleotha Abston.
Uh-huh.
And he's already got, from what I understand, he's already got kidnapping charges from when he was a juvenile.
Mm-hmm. I think it was the year 2000. He was, I think the guy's, I don't know, can't remember the first name of the person, but I think it was Durand, the surname. and who he allegedly kidnapped when he was a juvenile. I think he was about 16 at the time, because it was in the year 2000, and this guy's 38 now, so he must have been a juvenile at the time.
Now the question remains, does he know her husband? Because that is what is being said far and wide.
Right.
That he was hired by the husband.
Uh-huh.
I don't have a red flag that TBI, FBI, and Memphis police questioned dad and nanny. I'm
Mm-hmm.
assuming that they questioned everybody, her
Mm-hmm.
parents, her siblings, because remember, you have $1 billion business there too.
Right.
This could
Right.
be business related.
Right.
This is her regular routine. She was grabbed at 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
This is not just random. This
Mm-hmm.
is just not random. So you have a lot of different ingredients in the recipe, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
The very far and wide speculation is, they're separated, even though he's still living in the house. There's been rumors about the nanny, but like I said, it's not a red flag to me that they questioned them or that they took the computers, because I would assume that they would take all the electronics to rule out any communication he would have with Cleotha, or that the nanny would have with Cleotha.
Mm-hmm.
My huge red flag is taking out the lawn shears.
Yeah. Yeah, you've got to wonder why they would take out an item such as 3-foot lawn shears.
Some people were saying maybe they think it's one of the gardeners that had something to do with it. They tend to have their own equipment.
Mm-hmm.
They don't leave them there. That's beyond odd. That's beyond odd for me.
Mm-hmm.
Also, they took Eliza's vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
We know it wasn't used in the abduction, so why would they take it?
Yeah.
And leave his, unless they want to get, here's a term we're all very familiar with, they want to get direct access instead of waiting to get the information back to the Starlink where that car has been.
Yeah. And possibly some DNA evidence as well from the vehicle.
Oh, yeah. Amanda Z said that he has tears. I mean, that don't mean much, but he's crying during the news statement.
Yeah, he did seem quite visibly distressed, to be honest. But then I guess, it's not beyond the realms of possibility that you can seem distressed even if you are involved in something, I guess.
Yeah, and I couldn't really make too much out. I'm going to play it in a second. Between the parents' reaction to him, they didn't seem to be looking in his direction often.
He seemed to be looking directly at the camera quite a lot, and wiping his nose and wiping his eyes and touching his face, and just generally kind of, I guess, trying to clear his face from tears or whatever. But there didn't seem to be any visible reaction to him around while he was upset during that news family statement.
No, and also I remember, the Lacey Peterson case.
Mm-hmm.
And the family was extremely, everybody's different, I get it, supportive of Scott, hugging him, looking at him. And it just kind of seemed like everybody was sort of doing their own thing, as if, they don't want to address the elephant in the room. Maybe.
Yeah.
Jay Taylor said, are any of you following up on the Strava exercise lead? Yeah, I've been going through that. So they each have profiles. He follows her, but she doesn't follow him, is what I'm seeing. And the FBI is looking at all the people that they communicate with through that. What do you make of it, Jay Taylor?
I haven't heard about that lead. What is it?
It's it's for athletic people, I guess, and it's called Strava. Here, let me pull it up and maybe I can explain it a little better, because I don't use it. But it's kind of like in the Kylie Rodney case. We were talking about Sammy and Kylie, and you see that Kylie does not follow Sammy on any social medias. So you see him following his wife, but her not the other way around.
Okay.
So hold on, let's look at the family, then I'm going to put the link up. And this is on WREG Memphis. All right, so we have 5 family members.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the one everybody's watching is Richie. Real quick, because you guys are going to know. What do we know about the nanny? I've heard she's 22. I've heard she's 42. I also am trying to figure out who was watching the minor children while all this was taking place Friday morning.
Mm. You might think it would be possibly one of the grandparents or something.
Well, I just thought, wouldn't that be a shit deal if it's the nanny watching the kids that morning?
Right.
You know, and just how Harlequin romance is it that the nanny's involved?
Well, I haven't actually been able to find out any information about the nanny yet, not even her name or anything, but then haven't actually done a real deep dive into it.
And here it is. Sylvia Tyndall, thank you. His route on the app goes to that McDonald's and also them apartments.
Huh.
And also the convenience store in that area is where TBI agents were dumpster diving on Friday.
Yeah.
This is shaken out so fast. And I have heard that the nanny lives there.
Right.
Now imagine that scene.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like you were saying earlier, it is something like out of a movie or off a Netflix drama or something unfolding in real time.
It is. Just Me was going Gone Girl. I was like, I wouldn't doubt it.
Mm.
Not with everything Richie's putting her through. It's the kids, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
I have a feeling something's going to happen very, very fast.
Yeah, me too, especially since the arrest. I think that's going to spur things to happen pretty quickly.
And how do you even have that conversation with your, let's say that Cleotha's the other guy that got arrested for the manufacturing, possession of the fentanyl, the whole 9 yards. How do you even have that conversation with your drug dealer? If you're not busy Friday morning, I have the day off. So then I don't have to worry about babysitting.
Uh-huh.
I understand that I owe you some money and you're not doing layaway anymore. You only do that at the Christmas season. Come on.
Right.
Come on.
Yeah, I'm not an experienced drug purchaser, but I can't imagine having that conversation with anyone, let alone a drug dealer.
Good.
Especially one that's had previous for kidnapping.
Yeah. And where's Eliza?
Mm-hmm.
Where is Eliza? She's not anywhere in those apartment buildings.
No, I think it's going to, like you say, I think it's going to move pretty quickly now that the arrest has happened. I hope that it will lead to them finding her really quick now.
Okay. Now, you know me. We'll probably have to stop this a couple of times and listen to what the family spokesman has to say.
Okay.
I have a feeling him taking the realm and addressing the public, I have a feeling he is also very, very important in the family business as well.
Mm. It looks kind of quite regal in the background of that photo. That's what I noticed when I was watching it as well, is like the opulence of the background. Like it was filmed in one of their homes or something. Like, you can tell where the money is.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Laura Dawn says, hello. Hello, Laura Dawn. Are you thinking we can't see your comments? I don't have anything slowed down this morning. All right. Oh, hang on. Jay Taylor said that's what drew me to the case. Yes, some people really go out exercising at 4 a.m. Early morning joggers deserve to be safe. I'm an early morning person. Okay. And I go to the gym early in the morning. I'm not really worried about anybody snatching me. They would bring me right back.
But no, that's a good point though, because yesterday they were saying on the news clip that, you know, be careful, don't go out jogging alone, go out jogging. And I sat here thinking, you know, this is still how we are in society, that something like this happens and the whole of society has to be told, don't go out jogging alone. You know, why can we not just be safe to do the activities that we want to do outside of our homes at exactly the time, whatever time that is that we want to do it? We should be safe ultimately.
Mm-hmm. Well, you can unless your significant other owes a guy named Cleo for money. What's looking like to me. But I mean, the other morning I was getting ready to leave and I was like, you know what? I'm going to wait for the sun to come up. And I've got security cameras and stuff, but just something, I don't know, just something weirded me out that day. Probably just me.
My name is Mike Keeney, and I am the uncle of Eliza Fletcher. On behalf of Liza's family, her husband Richie, her children, her mom Adele, her father Beasley, her brother Gil, and all the members of her family, we want to make a brief statement. We want to start by thanking everyone for their prayers and outpouring of support. Liza has touched the hearts of many people, and it shows. We want to thank the Memphis Police Department, Shelby County Sheriff Department, TBI, FBI, and all of the other law enforcement agencies who are working tirelessly to find Liza. The family has met with police, and we have shared with them all the information we know. More than anything, we want to see Liza returned home safely. The family has offered a reward for any information that leads to her safe return. We believe someone knows what happened and can help. If you have any information on this crime or Liza's location, call the police at 901-545-COPS or call Crime Stoppers at 901-528-CASH. Thank you. My name is Mike Keeney.
All right, simple statement, but of course we're looking at Richie. Richie's the most uncomfortable one in the bunch.
Yeah. Also,
my name is Mike Keeney, and I'm the uncle of.
Also, the one that no one else is really paying that much attention to. That's in the. They're obviously. It's almost like they're trying deliberately not to make eye contact with him or not to look at him.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I think they're definitely doing everything they can not to look at him.
Mm-hmm.
For whatever reason. I did see some other Instagram posts about, individual counseling. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Individual counseling, recovery, and things like that. And I just have a feeling that, they've had a belly full of Richie. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, I asked yesterday in the show about the man that did talk out on the news, Hart. He works with Richie. He is I don't know if he owns it, but he's the president of the boat dealership. Mm-hmm. And Richie's the manager. So here it is. Oh, I can't read that. This is the post if you want to blow it up.
I can read it out if you want.
Please.
Yeah. It says, Fletch _lives. Yesterday marks 7 years married to this beauty. If you were to ask us at year 3 if we would make it to 7, we probably would have said no. Apparently we weren't given the memo that a healthy marriage is going to come easy. Luckily, we put God/recovery first. We were both willing to believe in each other and ask for help. We are so thankful for individual counselling, couples counselling, recovery, and friends. We can honestly say we wouldn't have it any other way.
Well, and that's what's going on in their marriage at the time. It's just a little coincidental to me that she is snatched. Her regular, she obviously felt very safe.
Right.
Jogging there every morning. And there's no victim blaming here. There's no victim blaming. You should be able to walk to your car, whether it's 1 o'clock in the morning or 1 in the afternoon, go jogging, take a walk out with groceries, whatever, and not get snatched. I'm sorry.
Absolutely.
There
I
is
agree with you.
no, and we don't always pay attention to our surroundings. I'm the world's worst. Call me a hypocrite, and I talk about the shit every day.
Right, that's exactly what I was saying. It's a sad indictment on society when you're not safe to go out and do whatever the hell you want to do at any time of the day that you choose to do it. Jogging, running, walking home late at night after a night out. You know, women are not safe doing these activities, and that is a reflection on the society that we sadly live in. It's nothing to do with the woman, it's to do with the crime in society and the criminals in society. That's what it's to do with.
That girl just said it perfectly. Why did she become a victim?
Right.
Why? Is this a crime of opportunity? 4:30 in the morning? I don't believe so.
No.
I don't believe so. 4:30 in the morning? I do not believe so. Another reason, because I mean, some people are really hung up on this 4:30 in the morning jogging. It is hot as hell in Memphis.
Yeah.
So if you want to get a good jog on without killing yourself, you're going to do it before it's 100 degrees.
Right. And you should be able to do it anytime you want to do it.
Like I said, I'm an early morning person. Hell, I'm getting up sometimes and some people are going to bed.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes I wake up, we're like 6 hours ahead of you, and I wake up in the morning and you've already been awake for like 2 hours. And I'm like, what?
It's been like that a long time. It's been like that for a long time.
Yeah.
So we have that. Let's go back through. Okay. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about the other guy that was arrested because they keep, not that I really care about his reputation, if you know what I mean. Just don't want to muddy and confuse the waters any more than they are. But no, this is good old Cleotha. Again, I don't believe it's random. I just don't believe this is random between the $1 billion business, dad's drug habit, the many rumors. And I don't mean people just going, oh, well, he's probably having an affair with the nanny. I'm talking about people that have come out that know them and said it's been suspected for a long time. He had something weird going on with the nanny.
Yeah. But then also people that have come out and confirmed the drug use history that he had or has. No one seems to know. But I mean, these things seem to be overlapping with each other at the moment, don't they?
And I'm not advocating for alcoholism at all because it's, you know, a lot of people are like, look, he's a drunk. He is a drunk. I get it. I've never heard of a crime where the guy at the liquor store, you know, needs the money back. You know what I mean? That's just kind of alcohol is just kind of easy to come by. Drugs, different story. So either he owed Cleotha and the guy they arrested for manufacturing, distributing, all that stuff, the fentanyl and a couple other things he's got going on. So either he owes these unsavory characters some money, or they went and grabbed her on their own to hold her over his head. There's got to be some connection there to me right now.
Right. And although this hasn't really come out as a ransom, like money ransom type thing yet, there's no saying that that's not what the police are waiting for in terms of the phone calls, the phone ringing and stuff. But now that this guy's been arrested, I wonder how that will change that possible outcome.
Up moments ago, while many are celebrating the news that someone has been detained in connection to this case, there's also a feeling of sadness among the congregation.
Sorry, I didn't mean to speed ahead. Let's talk. I want to talk about that before I get to this clip.
Okay.
Go ahead, Kat.
Yeah, so if the police were waiting for a ransom demand for Liza to come through, I wonder how the arrests that they've made will affect that, because if they've arrested one of two people that are holding Liza, perhaps the ransom demand may now not be a ransom demand. It may end worse. I don't know how that will affect the outcome.
Oh, yeah, because somebody's got to have her. Somebody's got to have her. And still, I don't believe that it was Richie doesn't strike me as doing his own dirty work type of dude.
Right,
Okay.
exactly.
Richie really doesn't to me. He doesn't seem like that to me.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody had to be driving because
Yep.
Cleofa, if I'm saying the name right, Cleofa can't be driving the car
Yep.
and abducting. Somebody in the car waiting because let's face it, she is healthy. She is athletic. He
Mm-hmm.
throws her in there. She can
Mm-hmm.
still be fighting to get out. She can,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
somebody had
There
to
was
keep.
definitely more than one person involved in the actual abduction, for sure. They just only happened to have arrested one person in connection with the abduction because they found the vehicle they were looking for, and he was occupying the vehicle at the point where they found the vehicle. They arrested him because he was in the vehicle. There could still be other people at large, and there could still be at least one other person holding Liza.
Absolutely. And that's why I looked at my description from yesterday. Mind you, I just copy and pasted it out of an article. Just to give everybody sort of a this is what we're talking about type of thing.
Yeah.
And I just happened to see after we did the show yesterday, Kat, where it's used where whoever wrote the article is using her name in past tense. Now, I will say Memphis is a dangerous town. I love your town, by the way. I'm not picking on your town. Love Memphis. Love the vibe. Love the food. And I'm just like, are they assuming just because she was kidnapped in Memphis that she's got to be dead? I don't know. But right out of the gate, they're using past tense. And I'm like, is there something they know we don't know?
Yeah, that was something that we picked up on yesterday straight away, wasn't it? The News Nation article that we listened to, a lot of the written articles, they were already referring to her in past tense, not less than 24 hours after she was abducted.
Yeah. And this isn't like the family is saying was, because we hadn't even heard from them, and they're not. It's the news anchors.
And the pastors at the church and people like that know her. I noticed it in as well.
Okay, that must have been what TBI was looking for. ICU says the clothes she was wearing were allegedly found in a McDonald's dumpster approximately 6 miles from where she was abducted. I heard it was a convenience store. But I mean, these were agents. You know what I mean? This wasn't the rookie in Memphis digging through.
Yeah, I did hear that clothing was found. I didn't know it was confirmed that that was her clothing in a dumpster.
Sherry,
I did hear that.
Sherry says the husband is very nervous. He doesn't look like he's in his element per se.
No.
He is the only one that looks like a cat on a hot tin roof.
Right.
For the family plea. Everybody else is pretty focused on what they want done, and that is to get Liza back.
Yeah. Yeah, he does. He looks like a rabbit caught in headlights during that family statement.
And why was his face itching?
I'm not sure if his face was itching or whether he was trying to clear his face of his tears because he was upset, wasn't he? He was quite visibly distressed. But he did a lot of face touching. And fidgeting as well. Like, the only other person that really moved during that whole thing was the guy on the far left. I think it was her. Is that her father?
Yes.
He kind of made it almost like he was a bit annoyed at one point. He kind of moved his arm and then put the other arm around it as if to say, like, I'm really annoyed with you. But he didn't. That was the only other person that really moved at all during that conference. The other people in the news conference looked like they were just completely devastated, like stone-faced kind of thing.
I'm being good today, Kat.
Okay.
It's the Lord's Day. It's the Lord's Day. All right, here we go.
Okay.
All right, so they're replaying the family interview. Poor mom. Ugh. Okay,
Yeah.
so here's Richie. You guys want me to slow it down so we can watch Richie's motions, and I'll go to the one where they play it in its entirety?
Yeah, wait 2 seconds though. Who's the guy behind Richie?
Her
Because he's
brother.
looking Eliza's brother.
Yes,
He
he's
is looking daggers at Richie in this still that you've just stopped it. Look at his eyes. He's looking at Richie like daggers.
he is burning holes through the back of his head.
Right.
Good catch. Good catch. Kat's been all over it for the last week. I don't know if Kat got new vitamins or what, but she's been blowing me away. You said something in the Summer Wells thing the other day. I about had to stop the show and say, hang on, I got to totally rewrite this. This is look at him. You're right. Cheesecake Mafia said from left to right on your screen. Dad,
Okay.
mom, uncle, husband, brother.
Okay. And at the back is a picture of Liza. You can just see behind the uncle's head.
Okay. And then you see the brother that looks like he could snap Richie in two. Because like I said, for, that post that I showed, the Instagram post where he's talking about, I didn't think we'd make it 3 years. Well, I'm sure her parents that spent about $100,000 on your wedding loved hearing that.
Right.
And, going through individual counseling and recovery.
Right.
It always makes me mad when someone in the marriage goes to get their own, when they absorb the other's problems, and he's the one that's had the substance abuse. I get it. You have to get your own therapy.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to me that he brought a little more to the table than she bargained for.
Yeah, same.
And I just have a feeling mom and dad have had a belly full of Richie. I just don't believe in Liza's upbringing. There has been problems of this nature. I just don't. I could be wrong. I just don't.
No, I don't. And I know that you can't always tell what goes on behind closed doors, especially in wealthy families, because people always look at the poorest people in society as being the drug addicts. But I mean, they don't look, it sounds weird, but they don't look as though they've encountered anything like him before in their lives. And, the brother obviously looks as though he doesn't relate to this guy either. Just from that one look, it's almost like this is what you've done to our family kind of thing. That's just my interpretation of this still image that's on the screen right now.
Yeah, you brought this to the front door, buddy. We've been telling you for years, we've been dealing with you. I can just imagine the mother going, if you owed someone money, you should have come to me. If you didn't want to continue fighting with her about whatever's going on, you should have come to me.
Yeah.
All right. Do you guys want to go through the family interview in fullness, the whole thing? And I can just mute the words because we know what the words are and just watch Richie.
Facial expressions, yeah.
That girl, wonder what the guy's occupation is. You mean Richie? Hang on.
Isn't he the manager of a boat company or something?
Yes. And the guy that was on the news first. Here we go. Boat Center. Find out a bit about our wonderful team. On the right, you have Richie. And on the left, you have Hart. Hart is the president of the boat dealership. Richie is the manager.
Hart was the one that was on the News Nation clip yesterday, wasn't he?
Yeah, because I said, who's Hart?
Yeah, I remember you saying who it was, and that's who he is. He's the manager of this company.
So the first one that comes out, I do find this odd. I'm not picking on Hart. He could be the greatest guy in the world. The first person that comes out and speaks to the news is Richie's boss. I'm sure he's a family friend. I'm sure he hangs out and comes to Labor Day barbecues, not this year. I'm sure stuff like that, but I'm like, that's the first one. Wonder if there's any boats missing. They're right on the Mississippi River.
Interesting to know, wouldn't it?
Wonder if there's any boats not in their inventory. Richie was not at work. He had the day off Friday.
Yeah. Yeah, he did, but a certain drug dealer didn't. Certain drug dealer was obviously working at 4 a.m. that morning, picking up his wife.
And Clothoa, considering his occupation, doesn't look like an up with the chickens type of dude.
No.
I
Doesn't
think
look like he doesn't look like he's been round for dinner with the parents, do you think? No.
I think he was told this is what time she jogs every morning. And here's another red flag. Thank you, Vet Girl. You're reading my mind. A $1 billion company and the son-in-law doesn't work for the family. Yeah, Richie, you loser. They could have just made a position up for him. Right. We're not talking about the local hardware store where, you're making enough just to feed the family. This is a $1 billion incorporation. It's a conglomerate. They're well known. They've got so much money that they are known for their philanthropy in the Memphis area. Peyton Manning's wife, Ashley, her family is great friends with them. You see what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
They
the company
are very affluent.
The company ranks something like 142nd on the Forbes rich list. In the US. It's a huge company.
They have their own truck fleet. They are Richie don't have a job. Richie, they're like, no, Richie, you go work with Hart. You just sign notes and shit. You're doing good over there.
Yeah. And I shouldn't imagine that's because he wasn't ever offered a job. He may well have worked for them, and they've decided that he's not cut from the right cloth, shall we say. They don't want him anywhere near their organisation. Well, that would be my opinion on why he doesn't work for them.
Like I said, Mom's just kind of standing there like, no pun intended, she could bite through nails. Kind of like, I've had a gut full of this man.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's also been known that Eliza is actually pretty frugal. I mean, to have that type of wealth, she, I'm not saying that she's shopping at garage sales or anything, but he always has to have the best of everything. It's always new with Richie.
Well, this is the point I kind of made earlier in my video, was like, Eliza's she's very grounded. She seems very down to earth. Obviously, I don't know her, but just from the fact that she works as a preschool teacher, I mean, there's not many people that are really high affluent heiresses that take a job as a preschool teacher. She must really love her job. She must just love the job that she does and find it really rewarding, because there isn't really a need for her to work in that kind of profession. It just seems to me like she's a very down to earth, grounded kind of person that will, despite being an heiress, will go out and work as a preschool teacher,
Early kindergarten. And so she loves it. She has 2 children of her own. She doesn't have to work. She doesn't have to stay put outside of the house. She has the type of money that she can have everything done for her. We're not talking about some $100,000 life insurance policy after taxes that got split 10 ways. This is the type of money that her kids' can live on.
Exactly. Yep, this is a huge fortune, and she's not got any airs. Well, she may, I don't know her, but I don't feel like she's got any airs or graces about her. She, like you said, she's frugal. She's quite happy to go out to work, even though she doesn't have to. Like, that's the soul of an altruistic, good person. Her family being philanthropists just goes to show that they're altruistic people. I mean, people with money don't have to give it.
Fletcher.
Oh,
I'm all over the place today.
Someone spoke. But she does, and I just think that she comes from that kind of a family that are altruistic enough to give their money to people who need it,
And they give millions of it. The St. Jude's, fabulous hospital, what they do for children. Their list of philanthropy, this is money that you wouldn't even believe. Yet Richie, which by the way is a great job, don't get me wrong, Richie's selling boats.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be very interested to find out who owns the boat dealership.
Mm-hmm.
Because Hart's the president doesn't mean
He owns that.
he owns it. And I also think the $50,000 reward is very chintzy, and I wonder whose idea that was.
Mm.
I really do. I can't imagine her family going, yeah, 50K. Mind you, we're worth billions.
Right.
I'm wondering where the 50K came from. If that's the FBI going 50K and we'll see what happens. To
Mm-hmm.
get some negotiations going.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly. Because they haven't said they haven't said that there's any ransom demanded at the moment. But if there is a ransom demanded, it may be that somebody knows something that's willing to take the 50K rather than have to, you know, rather than the family having to pay billions of dollars of ransom, you know.
yeah, so I'm just kind of wondering whose bright idea that was, because they seem to be very meticulous just with their statement and everything. It seems like they aren't going to do anything without someone's direction. It's just how it seems to me. I could be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
From what I understand, there was a prenup, and it was that Richie walks away with nothing.
Right.
And that it had to be rewritten in 2018 when the grandfather died, and it actually, the screws got tightened, but that he would have access to a lot more, saying that something happened to her and then he's in charge of raising the children alone.
Right. So the money would really be for the children and not for him. But, you know, if he's raising them, then he kind of has that control over the money. Dodgy.
If what I was told was true, but it did make sense to me. And like I said yesterday when I came on, I said, this has got Jennifer Dulos vibes. Jennifer Dulos, her and her family had all the money, and oh boy, he wanted all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm going to turn the volume off on this, and I'm going to slow it down. We're just going to watch his mannerisms.
Mm-hmm. Good plan. Excuse me.
My playback speed wasn't working. Here we go.
Okay.
If I need to slow it down more, let me know.
Okay.
Okay. Looks like he's talking to himself. Everybody else is very stoic, except for the brother that looks like he could just put his hands around his neck.
Yeah. Like he's keeping his hands in his pocket for a reason. Like.
Mm-hmm.
And he's looking right at the camera for quite a lot of this as well, the husband.
The hell? Okay, the brother put his hand on his shoulder.
Yes, he has got his hand on his shoulder. Maybe he's squeezing him really tight on the shoulder blade.
If he has nothing to do with this, how is he going to explain that on his bike route, those apartments are on it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Look at the fathers now. He's looking over like he's changed his physical posture. He looked over to them.
Okay, let's look at Dad. Hang on.
So it's like he sees he's got the hand on his shoulder and he gets really annoyed.
Okay, Dad looks like he's looking at the paper.
Go back a little bit further than that when he changes his hand position. before that. Yeah. He's got his
Now
hands
he's
in his
looking.
pockets.
He looks at the brother when he puts the hand on the shoulder.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then he looks like he gets really annoyed in a minute, and he changes his whole body position, and his arms go in front of him like he's really pissed.
Oh, wow. A picture speaks 1,000 words. Look at that.
Yeah.
How come Richie's the only one itching?
Mm-hmm.
He scratches at
Touching
his
his face.
nose, then he wipes his eyes. Richie, you're going to get an eye infection from that.
Haven't we heard about touching your face, and in other cases about, you know, the guilt that it kind of implies, or the body language of touching your face often? It's quite often associated with some kind of guilt, or covering your face, you know, covering your mouth, covering your nose.
My goodness. Hang on. Sylvia sent me an email. I'm not in this group, Sylvia. You're going to have to add me. I did open it, though. It's the bike route. I do need to see the bike route. Look at Dad. Look at Dad. Wow. I'm telling you, I could be proven wrong. I've been proven wrong before. It's okay. Did a whole show about it. These parents here, they've had a hell of a time with Richie.
Mm-hmm. Look at his position now. He's like covered. Yeah, he's pissed. He is pissed. Sees the hand on the shoulder, and he covers himself like, yeah, you can. Yeah, he looks angry to me.
He looks very angry to me too. Do y'all think that Dad looks a little PO'd?
Mm-hmm.
Where Summer said opioids addicts itch like that. Mm-hmm. Sylvia says, I'm not in the group, but I can see the post. Well, why can't I? Dadgummit. Miss Tupelo says, I'm from that area. RF has a lengthy arrest record. I promise he can't touch her trust. Just saying without saying. Oh, no, he can't. That's why I said they even tightened the screws in 2018. He can if something was to happen to her. Car wreck, she gets sick and she passes away. You know, something like she's not on this planet anymore and he is taking care of the children by himself.
Right.
I don't think anybody trusts Richie. Sinclair said, mad dad.
Least of all her parents, by the looks of this video.
Also, very strange arrangement that they have here. I'm assuming the news set this up, but still kind of strange. It kind of looks, you know, divided. And I have a feeling that the guy that probably has the most to do with the business is the one speaking out. Hang on. I heard the suspect was arrested for kidnapping before. Fact or fiction? Fact. Pat said he's holding his arm back so he doesn't
swing a punch. That's the vibes I'm getting as well. That is totally the vibes I'm getting, Pat. It's like he crossed his arm over like that, as if to say, if we weren't at this press conference, I don't know what I'd be held responsible for, because he looks mad to me.
Look at him looking up at the ceiling. Look at him. He's just like, I'm going to flip. I'm going to flip. I'm going to lose it. Oh, man. And I'm with ICU. Why did they take Liza's vehicle? I would totally understand if they took his. Why did they take hers? That's going to be very telling. Very telling. Dad's trying to dip.
There you go. There you go. There it is. There's that look from Dad.
And he's not looking at the uncle.
Mm-mm.
That girl, they took her car from the home.
Yeah.
They took
Yesterday.
her car, several electronic devices, and garden shears. Mm-mm-mm. That's the look. Robert Ryan. No, nothing happened in her car that we know. The car that she was put into Friday morning, they found that car yesterday and arrested this fine gentleman, Cleotha Abston.
Aggravated kidnapping and tampering with evidence. Or his
What?
charges.
What is the evidence? Probably her phone, maybe her phone and I don't know.
Maybe, but the phone was left outside the car, wasn't it, and smashed.
Could be. Now he's looking at the paper again, going, let me talk.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what I want to say. Okay, there's Richie again, going for the eyes. Huh.
Oh, his face, the dad's face, man.
Woo! The dad's face tells me a lot more.
Absolutely.
A lot more. All right, so then WREG put out a what we know so far. I'm going to put that up, and then I'm going to put the link up and see what you all think. Laura, she is smelling what we're stepping in. She says, Dad's face says everything. Yes, it does. Dad is next to Richie. Dad is definitely the most animated. Dad's not having any of this BS. He knows what's going on.
Right.
Dad knows what's up.
Police as they search for possible answers in this highly watched case. WREG's Jordan James joins us live right now from the McDonald's at Perkins and Quince, where officers were earlier. And Jordan, was this in relation to Fletcher's disappearance as well?
Hey, Shay, officials have not definitively said yet, but I can tell you it's a very active scene out here right now. I'm going to step out of the way to give you a better look at what we're seeing. There's dozens of members of law enforcement in the parking lot adjacent to McDonald's, some armed with guns. They've been out here over the last few hours. They have been at multiple sites all across the city over the last 48 hours. As Memphis police tells us, they're working around the clock to find Eliza Fletcher.
Nearly 48 hours after the abduction of Eliza Fletcher, desperation is setting in across the community.
More than anything, we want to see Eliza returned home safely.
In their first public appearance, Eliza Fletcher's family pleaded for her return.
We believe someone knows what happened and can help.
As they called out for assistance.
Uncle, they do. They do. Hang on.
For her return.
We believe someone knows what happened. And
why is Richie shaking his head no when he says, we believe someone knows what happened? Watch Richie. Watch Richie.
We believe someone knows what happened and can help.
He's like, no, don't say that.
Yeah.
Richie, no. Dad's looking straight at Richie. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
And then he touches his face, shakes his head no, touches his face. It's honestly, it's the dream of a body language expert, this whole thing, I think. Be their dream to analyze this.
I think so too. Not my legal name says this is giving me Fargo vibes. Me too. Me too. Because at some point they got to do something with Eliza. They got to do something with Eliza.
And if they've arrested one of the people that they believe, at least one of the people that they believe has kidnapped Liza, then where is Liza? And will she be found now? That's what I was saying earlier about the outcome. What effect is it going to have on the outcome for Eliza? The fact that they've arrested someone already.
And can't really pick the brain of a kidnapper, if you know what I mean. If this is over a drug debt per se, killing Eliza isn't going to pay said debt.
No.
Holding Eliza for ransom would.
Yeah.
Who would want Eliza no longer on this planet and knows that she jogs every morning at 4:30 in the morning? Just throw it out there.
As they called out for assistance, Memphis police announced a person has been detained after he was spotted driving the alleged vehicle used in her abduction.
Hold the phone. Was Cleofa really driving around in the vehicle that he used to abduct Eliza?
That's what they've said, that he was the occupant of the vehicle when he was arrested. Yeah, not the brightest stars in the sky, these people, are they? But I mean,
Well, Richie, you didn't obviously give your employee very good instructions.
Memphis police aren't saying much about the incident, but reports suggest that the alleged suspect was involved in an accident, resulting in him being taken into custody.
Now, from what I'm understanding, the accident was with I'm doing this in quotes, was with an ATF officer. Seems to me that as Clefoa was going to run his, errands for the day, get guacamole for the game or whatever, the ATF ran right into him and they arrested him.
Yeah.
Despite recovering the vehicle, Fletcher was not found. Meanwhile, at her church, Second Presbyterian Church, many are leaning on their faith during these difficult times.
We're thinking of them constantly and lifting them up in prayer to a God who is powerful, and we are just praying she'll be found alive and safe and unharmed.
A $50,000 reward is being offered for information about Eliza's whereabouts, which could bring a sense of comfort to her family and community during these difficult times.
And at this hour, we're still working to determine if the person detained is facing any charges. Memphis police is asking anyone with information about Fletcher's whereabouts to call Crime Stoppers. That number again, 901-528-CASH. Reporting here live in East Memphis, Jordan James, WREG News Channel 3.
And we've been following.
Woo-hoo-hoo. I'm going to put the link up again. I just did. Jay Taylor, you are right. We are talking a lot about the family because I'm very, I think, like I said, I think they've had a belly full of Richie over since 2014. The next show I do about Eliza, we're going to look more at the bike routes and everything. What Sylvia sent me, I'm definitely going to use. I just want to mark the names out.
Yeah.
Some people are like, they're cool in their Facebook group, but when you put it on your show, they're like, I'm not that cool with it. Fun to ski. Yes, they were separated, but Richie's still living in the house. So It's obviously a very big house. I'm putting a link up again, and then I'm going to look at these pictures that were posted publicly on Facebook and look at a video that was posted. Exactly, Vet Girl. When I heard that there was an accident with the ATF, it reminded me of Vicky and Casey. I'm like, another oops. Well, I tell you what, those law enforcement officers, they're just not real good drivers, are they? They just run right into the guy they want.
Well,
I'm not running in this trench coat in this Memphis heat. Nope,
right.
I got this.
Got a vehicle.
They just have a way, don't they? Let me look at this video real quick. Wolverine has to go get on the tractor.
Oh, wow. I like the coffee part of that sentence.
Well, I want to do it without showing all these names. Let me try it. Well, basically it's the scene outside the house and just a lot of law enforcement. You don't see the actual arrest. But if there's a bunch of, when I full screen it, I can't come back over and share the screen. Let me see if I can do it this way. Nope, it's still going to show all the names. Well, crud. It is what it is, but I think a lot more is going to be coming out about this. Cleotha, I'm sure, has already been assigned a public defender. I hear that he's going to be in court Tuesday morning. That's what I heard. Tomorrow's Labor Day. Let him sit. Let him sit. I haven't heard anything about a bond. I have a feeling one won't be set.
Yeah, possibly not, as it's not his first rodeo, if you like. And also the other charges that the other person got as well. Because I've got a feeling that those two are related to each other, if you like.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Jay Taylor said maybe get a list of the AA meetings. I don't think Cleotha would have been going to any of the AA meetings unless he was court required to. That would be a way to make the connection, unless Cleotha's just taken out the trash one day and Richie's riding his bicycle and says, hey, what are you doing Friday? There has to be a way for those two to know each other. They're going to get it figured out.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. They're all over this case. Like, to me, the most important thing at the moment is getting Eliza to be safe, like finding her safe.
Absolutely.
Because I think that will give them a lot more information if they can do that. I just have concerns now. It might not be a concern that many people have, but just my concern is now that they've arrested this Cleotha guy, how safe is Eliza?
That's what I'm worried about too, because he would have been the one that knows where she's at. So if it is for a drug debt, he would need her alive to collect.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that they're not giving him a wink of sleep and saying, vet girl, where is the boat business? Who works for the boat company, maintenance, etc.? I wondered that too, if Cleotha was an employee there, because Hart came right out of the gate and got on the news to say, we want Eliza back. That's our main focus. And it is the main focus.
Yeah.
Can't ignore all the other things going on though. Insane.
Yeah. There's a lot going on under an undercurrent of other things going on in this case other than a simple abduction. It's going to be a lot more complex than that, I feel.
Definitely. Well, I'm going to start winding this down and get on with my day. We are going to have a Labor Day show tomorrow, though. I don't know if it's going to be members only or if it's going to be public. I haven't decided yet. Depends on what I get put together. Got to get to a members live soon, though. I'm just trying to figure out a happy medium for time. I'm sure I'll get it figured out someday. You never know with me. So we'll do a Labor Day show tomorrow for Kylie Rodney. And who knows, might be back on here today, the way everything with Eliza's unfolding.
Yeah, seems to be going pretty quick. Well, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Brooks, I'll probably catch you in Discord. Thanks, everyone, and I'll see you next time.
You'll see us next time. And if you guys haven't subscribed to Kat's channel, Kat Chats Crime and Coffee, she has a video as well on about Eliza. Great work as always. I just shared her video for Kylie Rodney. She does great work. Great video.
See ya.
I'm a big fan. And I'm a big fan of all you guys too. I'll let you get on with your day. I will see you in Discord later. And then check your notifications, check the channel, check Discord, the Facebook group, whatever you're in, because we do put reminders in there for the shows, because we all know you can't depend on YouTube. So you all, thanks for being super awesome people. And hands down, you are the best chat and community on YouTube. I can't say that enough. So I'll see you back here. Might be later today, the way things are going. If not, enjoy your Sunday. Have a good one. Bye-bye.